4:10:25. This is PBR versus Battlestar. I'm in the Henri. We started deployment here. Z starts to push, throws torpedoes. Moscow gets immediately detected. Blasted. This was something that was spoken about playing further back in Moscow because of his detectability. We noticed Napoli to the outside, daring on the cap. Ohio's moving in. Salem's in his anchored position. Napoli's to the outside. Focus fire destroys Moscow. Salem is in smoke from Z. Torps. Napoli's decided to limit his gun angles because he's on the inside. Cassard's to the outside and should be moving in. We've got a radar deployment from PR. I cut inside because there's no one else for him to shoot at. So I start to cut the angle to try to limit gunfire from Moscow. Torps start to come from the right. Cassard's still back here, whereas he should be up here trying to screen out this DD that we now know about. I deploy Hydro. I start my push. I'm engaging PR because once PR is destroyed, Moscow doesn't have gun angles here. So as I push across Napoli's nose, yeah, maybe I guess I should have stayed defensive here since Napoli wasn't going to push the corner and let Cassard work. But I saw this going on, and so I just assumed we were going to push, or maybe I should have said we were going to push, so that's on me. So I continue to engage PR. Some torps go out, I die. Then Napoli starts his push, but he can't push because he's in the same position that I was in. Finally work down PR. Ohio's pushed up middle. Ohio kills PR. Napoli's taking gunfire smokes. Cassard's been pushed back. He throws torps at Moscow. Salem was killed by the other Salem pushing across cap with radar. Napoli and Salem work together to double team him. Z's pushed out by radar. Montana's full health, chilling. Cassard starts his push across there. Napoli continues to be very passive and defensive, primarily because of this, the Montana. Ohio goes to push a cap against 3 hostiles. And time runs out before, well, time and death of Napoli there. So Ohio's deploying before we really know where the enemy is, and typically limiting gun angles. Z pushes up, but we weren't really going to be aggressive here at A, but we're in the aggressive positions here, it looks like. Moscow's detected early and whacked, but we don't get to see anything, so we don't know what's going on. Napoli takes inside track, I take outside track. I guess we could have stopped, but that's what these guys wanted, was they were going to defend B, and they have A. So now the thing is that if we're not going to attack A, and we're supposed to attack B, then the task is to push, and your DD needs to be out front, but we need to be, as Napoli and Henri, need to be out far enough to engage these guys when the radar deploys, which it's going to deploy against Cassard. So we need to draw fire from these guys, or while he's losing hit points, we need to be whacking them. Somebody's going to get hit, but somebody over here needs to get hit. Instead, Napoli has 0 gun angles. I have gun angles and being focused by 2 plus the DD. Cassard goes defensive, comes back again. I have to take a more defensive track because Napoli can't be shot and Cassard is not spotted. And so there's nothing to put pressure on these two guys outside of me. So we get Torps out there, but I think they run out of juice. Yeah, before they get there, because he's playing out. He does the right thing, which is dividing gunfire here. And now that I'm dead, you're now limited. So at this point, it's get rid of PR and then push this Moscow, which Ohio probably should have just pushed right up across here, secured B, and then tried to take this gunfight here. You could have angled out against Montana and these other guys while these guys drew fire for you. But a lot of times what I end up seeing with Ohio is that we're hunkered in islands, or we're limited, or we're pushing out across areas, and just poor positioning on that deal. And really, it should be in the back, like this Montana is, waiting, number one, for shots, but also to see where the map is going to develop and which side you're actually needed on. And when this side, because this is a bowl of death here, and you really don't want to be in there if you can avoid it, it's time to pull away and move to the other flank. So Moscow backs out and is engaging Ohio a little bit. We're trying to kill the PR. That takes a while. By the time he finally dies, again, Cassard is in line with Napoli. I know there's a Trump out here. I don't guess he's really a gunfighter, so this is one of those things where I'm not sure how you could have done that better, but really you're supposed to be out in front versus on line with them, because you're trying to put pressure on these guys to move. And you are doing it. The torpedoes are flying out there, but, you know, it's just poor positioning here, lack of aggression, pushing this corner, and then poor setup here at A, plus no heavy hitter from the Ohio until late game. So now we're going to throw it in reverse. Salem's playing Ring Around the Rosie, kills the other Salem. Ohio doesn't have shots on that. Torpedoes are coming across. Here he can't shoot Moscow. He can't shoot Montana. He can't shoot Salem. So now we're going to head for A, where we have a cruiser, battleship, second cruiser. There's a spotter plane going on here. I'm not sure where that was coming from. Torps from Napoli. And Salem played it out until the very end there. So